Jesse's just piling up the info on those pills. Are we live?
We're live.
Oh, dang. We are, bro?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Pull up the notes. Go ahead.
Pull up the notes. Good morning, everybody. This is Luis and Ray and our special guest, Jesse. We're here live in Conroe, Texas. This is episode 2. And again, we're just trying to see this. This is a beta. We're trying to see what we can bring out of this podcast. And just right now, it's all for fun. Trying to bring in guests from different walks of life. Bringing guests that know a little bit or don't know a lot, or just trying to bring and voice their opinion, which is what this podcast is for. Yeah.
So, Jesse, welcome.
What's going on?
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Some basic info.
Well, I was born in Mexico, Monterrey. Me vine de Mojarrita. Y pues estamos aquí echándole ganas.
Ahí está. That's good. You ever been on a podcast before?
Yeah. A couple of years ago, Luis and Rogelio and I were on a little podcast.
Yeah, we were trying to do this same setup before, trying to record, but the setup is really hard. So if anybody out there wants to start a podcast, I would suggest to make sure you have a space and then you have the equipment, and then the topics and all that stuff will come with time. You know, after probably episode 20 or 30, you'll probably understand like what you're trying to do, but have a space and have some equipment, because we ran into that issue where we had to set up and it would take hours and hours and hours. I mean, just this setup here took us, what, like 2 weeks?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
and then we've switched it around maybe 4 times now.
Yeah, and we're probably going to switch it up again once we get a table. But yeah, that's where me and Jesse have done the podcast before.
But you guys would do it as in a different... It wasn't like an office space, right? You guys would pick a location.
Yeah, we would pick a different location and then we would just do it there.
Set up. And here the idea is going to be, this will be the HUD
location,
and then guests will come here. Yeah. And that should cut down on the building time.
Yeah,
right.
And setting up, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, Jesse. So once again, welcome. So this is also new for us. Well, at least for me, this is very new. This is something me and Luis, like we said last time, I've been talking about for a while. But yeah, so I want to just jump straight into it, Jesse. So a famous quote that was thrown out to me yesterday.
Not a famous quote.
Famous quote, right? All right. Practice beats theory.
Practice beats theory.
Correct. As far as you can do all the research and have all these theories, but practice is always going to beat theory. You want to elaborate a little bit more on that comment?
No, I don't.
Well, I like to say my opinion on it.
Okay, go
yeah,
ahead.
of course.
Because, I absolutely... I believe that. I can see that happening in terms of, say, if you go out there and actually do the thing, you know the thing.
The thing.
You're going to know it a lot better. I'm the type of guy that if I don't go out there and do the things I'm reading about or actually practice out there like with somebody or actually do it,
okay.
I really don't know what I'm doing.
Correct.
If I don't do it, it's really just I'm reading it from somebody else who's done it or that is smarter than me that wrote about it, and I'm just repeating that.
Okay.
That's the way I see the theory. It's just repeating what somebody else has already practiced.
Correct. So, for instance, we ran into this earlier, right? So I'm like, hey, look at these protein pills. They're protein. You didn't just take my word for it. Why didn't you just take my word for it?
Because protein pills sound like bullshit.
Okay. So what'd you do once you got the item? What do you look into?
Well,
he wouldn't order the item
at all. So I call you, hey, I got these real nice protein pills. They're going to get you jacked up, ready to go. No, you're not just going to place the order.
No, I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions that'll make you second guess
And then you're gonna Google it
I'm gonna Google it
and look at the label.
Yeah.
And what do you look at in the nutrition facts? Or what were you reading earlier? What were you looking into? What's the main things you look at? Like even the other day we had an issue with different pills, and you went straight
into the ingredients.
So I look at the marketing because big claims require really good proof. Like,
okay.
Yeah, like
research backup.
Right.
something.
Right. So if you're gonna claim something in your marketing that is extravagant, then that gives me a little of a red flag.
Okay.
Like, what are they saying? How are they saying it? And then I'll look at the actual ingredients. And like, for instance, right here it says that 5 tablets equals 25 grams of protein.
It's
right?
a lot of protein. It's pretty good protein for 5 pills.
Right, and that's only 0.02 calories. Now we know that protein has 4 calories.
How do we know that?
That's energy. That's science.
That's science. Okay. Well,
So-
because I don't know
It's
that.
like
So
watts energy. It's energy. It's a joule. It's a type of energy. Caloric
okay.
joule.
So just scientifically proven, protein has at least 4 calories. 1 gram
Per
of
gram.
protein is 4 calories.
Exactly.
Okay. I do remember that you said something like that when we were talking about the meals a long time ago.
Mhm.
You're like, if you base the protein into the calories.
the
Yeah,
math
okay,
doesn't
okay,
add
okay,
up.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
and the math off the bat doesn't add up.
So there are 22 amino acids for there to be, muscle protein synthesis.
Okay.
This has, I think, 11 or 12. So also the claim, there's another claim that says, 500 times greater lean mass than any whey protein.
It's a lot.
That's
It's a big claim.
a big claim. 500 times,
Mm.
that tells me like what? Okay,
It's probably BS.
Yes.
They just got me with that,
I think so.
and I'm
yes.
almost done with the bottle.
And then
I mean, amino acids help with recovery. That's been proven.
Okay. Yeah,
So-
it's correct.
So I think that's been proven.
So
yeah.
the way I was taking these was, I would get my breakfast and then I would take these as a snack. So I would take 6 for 30 grams, and I would feel pretty full.
Yeah.
Not full. Well, yeah, I guess full, but it would kind of crave that wanting to eat something between breakfast and lunch or whatever. I would eat it with the Greek yogurt. So
Mhm.
I felt like it was doing good for me because I don't like going to the gas station and just grabbing a protein up there, even if I get the non-dairy one or whatever it is I get. Like, I would down it, right, and then I kind of feel a little bit bloated
Yeah.
and instincts. And then back in the day, having to carry a big old jug and water and having to sit there with one of these bad boys with Stitch
Yeah.
on it and put water and shake it up and drink it. So to me, I kind of liked it, but you're right. Maybe I should have looked more into it.
I think it's a good supplement if you're looking into if you're lacking protein, like if your diet doesn't have enough protein. But usually for any bodybuilder, lifter, protein's not the problem.
It's not the problem because it's just so easy to intake it.
And it's like subconsciously in our brains, like protein, like looking for protein.
Correct.
So
Because the idea is, from what I've heard, right? No expert, but you want protein to gain muscle.
science.
Bro science. You want protein to gain muscle, and you need protein to lose weight.
Because
Protein is just protein.
Yeah.
Protein is one factor of losing weight. It's like 6 factors to losing fat.
What are the 6 factors? Do you know them off the top of your head?
Off the top of my head, I know it's caloric deficiency is the number 1. Calories in versus calories out. Cardio, muscle building, protein, and something else. I forgot. But I know at least 4 of
At
them
least
off
4
the
of
top of my head.
Gotcha.
hey, that alone, that'll
That's
get you.
more than I know.
Mhm.
So,
So you have to be at a caloric deficit.
correct.
You
So I was
can't-
gonna go
yeah.
there. Okay. So a lot of times, obviously we have the shop here, right? So a lot of times I get the question like, oh, does this stuff work? Whatever it is you're taking, does this stuff work? Does that stuff work? Is this better than that? Is this better than this? Should I do this diet? Should I do that diet? And I tell people, like, to me, in my opinion, everything's gonna work if you stick to it and you do it right, no matter which way you go, whether you cut carbs or this or that. Like, all these theories out there, as soon as you Google how to lose weight, 50,000 things pop up,
Yeah.
and 20 other million videos pop up on how do you do it. But one of my things that I've always, at least recently, I've really tried to stick to is just not really count my calories, but stay under a certain amount of calories.
Yep.
And the idea behind it for me was, if I burn so many calories a day, if I stay below them just on a normal day without working out, without running, then that should help me. And I've seen some results just doing that alone. What do you?
Oh, absolutely. Like, if you know what's going into your body and you know how much you're burning, you pretty much have the equation down. Like, the way I look at it is, if you know how much whatever diet is out there is based on calories in, calories out. Like, for instance, keto, you're knocking out a third of your food because carbs are almost, usually a quarter to 35% of your food, maybe even more sometimes. But if you knock out 35% of your food intake, that's 35% of calories.
Correct.
So yeah, keto is going to work, and then you're going to plateau for a little while.
Correct.
Because fat has a lot of calories, so you have to eat very little in order to actually lose weight. A lot of people on keto usually go on things like one meal a day, because they can't eat very much.
Right.
If they want to keep losing weight.
Right.
So they're fasting. They're eating a lot in one meal.
Right. One meal's probably like 1,200, calories, maybe more.
Wow.
1,200. I mean, if you go to any restaurant, they're 1,300, 1,400 calories, and that's just one meal. And if your goal is to be under like 1,500 to lose like half a pound a week, with keto you're at 1,200.
So
you're already there on your goal.
And then, so they stick to one meal a day is usually the way it
that's
works, plus or minus
at the end.
at the end.
Because at the beginning.
So this is a process. Okay, so
Well-
there's steps, or I don't know much about keto. I just know people are like, "Is this keto?" And I'm like,
well,
yes.
not everybody. Like.
well, whoever.
Yeah, usually if you want to keep losing weight, it's easier to go to one meal a day because of the amount of food that you can't eat anymore after a certain because you're gonna plateau no matter what. Like,
Correct.
say I'm eating. I was 220 pounds at one point. I was eating maybe 3,500 calories a day and not exercising. So if I just knock out 500 calories and I keep knocking it down little by little, then I'll end up where I am right now.
Right.
I tried keto as well, and it worked. And the thing about it is that it works for a lot of people, because when you drop carbs, you also drop a lot of water.
Okay.
Because at the beginning, the
weight.
first 2 weeks, it's all water because,
Right.
Carbs retain water in the muscles. So you take that away, and it's gone. So a lot of people, it motivates people and to keep going. And
It's a good way to start. If you're like have a high body fat percentage, let's say over 25, over 30% body fat, it's a good way to cut that number down.
Right.
Significantly.
Yeah. So with those diets and all these different diets that people do, a lot of times people say it works to a certain point. Like you said, you plateau. And then once you stop, a lot of things that I hear is like, this diet only works to a certain point, and then you're just going to gain it back. But I feel like if you switch your body and then you're eating less, and then all of a sudden you feel like you're at a weight that you feel comfortable, and then you go back to tacos, this and that. No matter what you did before, it's going to come back.
You can't go back to tacos.
No, it's
like if you're
it's a lifestyle change.
Correct. So that's what I try to tell a lot of people, that it's not just like, whatever the product it is they're taking, or whatever, the myths or whatever it is Google told them. If you don't stick to it, you're just going to gain it back at the end of the day. I mean, you're going to get some success at the beginning, but if you don't learn to live that style, then you're just wasting your time, money, energy, effort, and then your mindset at that point, you're like, well, why do it then? And then people just stay where they're at.
That's why I believe in just knowing what you're eating. Like, how many calories does a McDonald's burger have?
That's so hard. Why do I want to do that?
It's on the menu. You can look it up on the menu.
Okay.
There's apps. There's the internet. You can just look it up.
That's too much work, Jesse, for people. What? That's too much work.
It depends how bad you want it. Remember?
Okay.
It's a lot of work to look up a diet and to follow it through.
We've both have been overweight.
Us three. I've been overweight too.
Yeah,
I just confessed it right here.
We've all been overweight, and we've all been in high school. Well, after high school, we were all like at a good weight. Meaning,
Right.
We're athletic, all that stuff, right? We gain weight, whatever.
Right.
I always think about like, okay, if I don't do this diet or if I don't work out, the alternative is 10 times worse.
Correct.
So that's why I do it, because I know the alternative is worse.
At what point did that click for you, though?
Probably in the past 2 years.
2 years. So these last 2 years have really been.
Yeah, that's been like, okay, this is my life forever.
Right.
Not I'm gonna do this diet until I'm at a certain weight, then I'm gonna go back to whatever, tacos, eating out, burgers, the whole 9 yards. Never limiting yourself in every meal. Having extra portions, seconds, going for the highest calorie foods, chips, sodas, everything. Like, that's the diet that will, that's the diet I'm talking about that you don't want to go back to.
Okay. But 2 years into it, is it a lot easier for you now? Is it more natural?
Yeah. So I'm at a like we said, I'm at like a maintenance phase, but also like at a plateau phase, meaning I have to go back to the basics and figure out where I can push myself to tweak it even more.
Okay.
And then that's where a lot of people like plateau, even in keto and things like that, because they have to kind of go back to the basics and find out what worked for them at the beginning.
What about you, Jesse? What was when did you switch? What made you change and really get into it? Because I don't think since you were 10 years old, you're like, you know what? I can't order that because of the calories. Or what point did you? Or what made you?
Well, back in junior high, I started.
That's way back.
That's way back. You didn't even have this yet.
No,
none of this was there yet.
I was pretty chunky.
Okay.
And I wanted the girls to like me. So,
Right.
I got to high school, and I wanted girls to like me even more. So I started, in junior high, I got into LOTC because they were doing push-ups and sit-ups, and I was like, I want to do that.
That's gonna give me jacked.
Yeah. And then in high school, I got into football and track, and I got into nutrition a little bit.
Okay.
I started taking diet pills at that point.
Oh, did you do those hydroxy cuts?
Peak testosterone, peak metabolism.
You're like, dang.
Fat pills.
But at that point, when I was taking that, they were like off-brand. Oh, they're GMC.
Back in the day, things were not FDA approved. Things
No.
were
Guys
jacked
making
up.
it down the road.
Anyway, like I started going to boot camp in football, in which was I started dropping a lot, and I started learning about oatmeals and egg whites.
Oh, so you have been doing this for a very long time. I thought this was like 2 weeks ago. These 6-packs, you didn't get them like 2-3 weeks ago?
No, I worked for them in high school.
Really?
I had to learn about nutrition. I had to be in track running.
Yeah,
and
I remember you being slim. But it's been many years since that. Like 4 since high school. It's been about 4 years since high school.
Probably.
Out of one at the beginning.
Okay. Well, so then you've been doing this for a while. So that's why it's a little bit more closer.
It's like life is like a roller coaster.
There's a song about that.
So keep going back, Luis too. Like we keep going back and forth in the gym. Like we fall off for a couple of months, years, and then we go back and start lifting.
Correct.
And like at the beginning, I started just with calories, and then tried a bunch of different.
But do you have to lift? You can't just eat good?
If you want to look good, you got to lift. Yeah.
Okay. So if I just eat good,
I mean, you're gonna be what
I'll be slim.
What people call skinny fat.
So you don't have to lift, but you do have to do resistance training.
Okay.
Resistance training is going against gravity against your body.
So I can just use my body, like
you
push-ups.
can do calisthenics.
Okay.
You know, calisthenics, any sport that requires resistance, swimming, rock wall climbing, cycling.
So I don't have to go get a membership.
No,
I can just you know
you
because
can
there's
do
a lot
it
of people that
you
don't.
can do it at home.
People that are like, man, I don't want to hit the gym. Screw that.
Push-ups and sit-ups.
Yeah, push-ups
Simple.
and sit-ups and
Jog.
Walking.
Made for legs, walking, cycling, running,
hiking. We have
Yeah.
the
You
longest.
like to hike?
We have the longest hiking trail in Texas in our backyard here in Sam Houston,
Oh, really?
and not many people know about it.
We'll probably have to look into that because I go to Austin to hike. I didn't know there was something here.
Yep.
Well, I didn't Google it either. I was just like, hey, let's just go to Austin and hike over there.
Yeah.
No one hikes here
Nope.
in Huntsville.
Well, through hikers do. People come
people
around.
that really know real hikers.
Well, yeah, I was on YouTube, just learning about hiking, and one of those videos pops up, and it's like the longest hiking trail in Texas,
Right here,
right
down
here.
the road.
Yeah,
Is that the one you're always on?
yeah, usually, yeah.
Yeah.
How long is it?
It's almost 100 miles, like 92, 93 miles. I did about 40 of them in 2 days back in October.
Dang,
Yeah.
that's too long. No, I do the little baby ones in Austin.
Oh, it's awesome, bro.
And what are the baby ones?
I have no idea. There's a video on YouTube.
How long does it take?
That's a very good
Because
question.
usually like 2 miles
Probably
an
no.
hour. So if
I
you
mean,
do an
we
hour,
went-
that's 2 miles.
We went and then we kind of got lost on the way back. We got lost again, so it was like a 6-hour thing.
6.
So
Do the math. 6 times 2, like 12 miles.
12.
So
That's
about 10
why-
to 12 miles.
That's
'Cause
good.
you're walking about 2 miles an hour.
Ah, okay. Is that the
Yeah.
pace? I walk pretty fast.
Then, yeah, 2.5.
2.5.
But with stops and stuff like
Yeah, of
probably
course.
doing
We
about 10
stop.
miles.
You gotta take pictures for Instagram because
Mhm.
if it's not on Instagram, it doesn't count.
I'll take water and all that.
Yeah. We had to take pictures. We had to play with the little fish. There's little puddles and stuff. Put my phone in
Nice.
there, take pictures of the fish.
Very
It's
nice.
pretty good. But back to the thing I was saying. So I don't have to do weight. I don't have to go to the gym. Some basic stuff.
The
See-
gym is a good place to start and build habits.
But it's
and
so
to build a
scary.
community.
There's too many
It's
jacked people in there.
scary. We all hurt in there.
Yeah, they're all cussing and screaming and
Not a wait, that is that
not a
No,
Planet.
no.
Planet Fitness with the monkey bars.
Yeah.
We're all insecure inside.
And we are. I
There's a
am.
reason we're going to the gym.
That is exactly why. But okay, that's good. We'll see. My point was, my turning point was about 4 years ago. No, probably. Well, it was when my son was born. I was like, all right, I need to lose some of this weight. I gotta be able to throw the ball with him. But he doesn't come out of the womb throwing the ball, so he has to grow a little bit before he can play sports with them. So I got pretty fat. But my thing that gets me is once I reach down and try to tie my shoe, and I go. Then I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I got it right here. This is where I got to change. So that's when I really got into it. But I work out to eat what I want. I'm not as disciplined as you guys. So I work out to eat what I want. And I think it works pretty good for me.
Let's break that down. So
Okay.
you eat you eat an excess amount of calories and then you work out, but working out doesn't burn as many calories.
Correct.
So how does that work?
So
Because, like once you work out, you do about maybe 200 calories.
I do intense workouts. So I don't.
300 calories.
My watch would tell me like 6.
Yeah,
7.
those are off. Those are a whole nother.
It's a whole different topic?
No, it's the same topic, but any biometric machine thing is not going to be as legit.
I think there's a study that was done that they can be off by 90%.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
90%.
that's a bit.
Yeah.
So
I usually
200.
cut it.
This.
I usually cut it by 60-70%. So if it says 600, I'm like, all right, that's a good 200 calories.
That's not thing.
Yeah. So a gym workout, weight lifting is usually going to be about 100 calories.
Okay. Well, let me rephrase that. I work out so I can eat at least one bad meal a day.
One bad meal a day.
Correct. So, like for
So
instance,
that's
my
probably in excess 300, 400, 500
correct.
calories.
But if I didn't work out, then I'd be
Oh yeah, yeah. If
Correct.
you didn't, yeah, because you have to take into account the workout plus all the muscle that you have. So it's not the workouts; it's the muscle that you have that's burning the fat. You would think that, yeah, because you have so much muscle that it needs a lot of calories.
Oh,
But
'Cause
you
it's
can
hard.
do that. Not
Like-
anybody can do that.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
everybody is different as well, I
Mhm.
guess. Because like that works for me, and people tell me all the time, like, "Dang, man, you should be like super jacked. You should." I'm like, "No, no, no. You
But
don't know how.
are.
You don't know how."
like.
Well, I'm saying like I guess they picture me to be like, because I've been going to the gym for a long time now. I guess they expect me to be ripped with big broad and like I don't know what
You're
they
not
expect.
on steroids.
That's another
That's-
thing.
That's
yeah.
episode 23. Yeah. But so I'm like, nah, man. I mean, I work out and and I try to take care of myself. But if I'm driving by and there's a new taco place, I'm stopping. If there's this,
But you don't eat
birria
that way
tacos.
24/7.
no, not 24/7. So I'll drink like my smoothies, my Greek yogurts, my my
Your
stuff.
your low calorie
Low,
stuff.
yeah. I still like to snack. My biggest weakness, I would say, is gancitos.
Ooh.
So if I have gancitos,
Mm.
like I have a vending machine and I put gancitos there, and I'll put the box over there.
You'll
Because
pay for your own stuff.
if the box is here, I'll fly. Like I have no self respect for gancitos. But besides that, like I know, for instance, me and the wife will be like, hey, so we're probably gonna go out to eat Saturday and Sunday. So let's kind of eat medium good here, and then Saturday and Sunday, ñacatelas.
Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, it's not 2 days a
I
week?
mean, it just depends. Like what I do is I like eat light during the day, and dinner you can eat a little bit heavier meal.
Well, see, I try to do the opposite. I try to make my breakfast or lunch heavy so that my dinner's not as heavy. Quote unquote.
Yeah.
I eat heavy all day long.
But you're shredded.
It's low calorie dense foods.
Yeah, yeah. And heavy means like dense
Oh, okay,
food.
okay. Heavy
Yeah.
doesn't mean like heavy
So-
in grease.
So my
No.
egg,
That's what I thought when I hear heavy
That's
meal.
that's what I refer to. But
Okay, okay.
he's technically correct.
He's saying, okay, got it.
so my eggs, I eat. So I love eggs, but I can't have 6 eggs with the yellow on them.
Oh, correct.
The yolk.
That's
Correct,
the
correct.
yolk. That's 75 calories per egg. But
Do the math. Oh wait, I'm the computer guy.
But, if I go, let's figure out how many calories that is.
I'm
75 per egg times 6.
I'm not as fast as that guy on that famous
It's 3.
carry the one. 75 times 7?
6.
Oh, 6. 450 right there. That's a meal.
450
That's a meal for
calories.
me.
Yeah. So, if you turn those into egg whites, you can add salt and pepper. Nothing wrong with salt and
And it's
pepper.
still gonna taste like eggs.
It's gonna taste like it. Maybe you want to leave one
egg
Yeah,
yolk to leave the taste of the
Huevos.
saturated fat.
I don't need it.
It's not
Mm.
it's just the saturated fat that you like.
I taste huevos.
So,
I
you
shouldn't
need-
say that
say
out loud.
the way I look at it is you need carb, protein, and fat. So you pick what protein you want on there. So I pick my protein as egg whites because it's one of the best proteins you can get. For my fats, I choose bacon because it's delicious. So the fat on the bacon just drips down in the egg whites, and it's delicious. And then
But bacon, like just bacon, like turkey bacon or bacon.
regular
Bacon,
bacon.
bacon.
Okay.
Because turkey bacon has a ton of salt, which is there's nothing wrong with it, but I don't like turkey bacon. It's not really good.
You see how hard this is? Like I hear turkey bacon, I'm like, you know what? That's healthier. I'm just gonna do that because
But
turkey.
how many slices of bacon are you gonna have?
I don't like bacon. Well, I eat bacon, but I try to stay away from. So funny story, right? So in my life, I'd be like, oh, no bacon, no pork. Like I'm trying to stay away from that because it's bad, quote unquote, right? But I love sausage and chorizo. And like one time I was like, yeah, no bacon, and then I was like, oh, I'll get chorizo, and then I was like, you know what, chorizo.
It's worse.
And I was like, I'm eating chorizo and I eat sausage, but I guess it just never clicked.
Yeah.
Like ham, I was just thinking ham, bacon, and like pork
It's
meat.
all the
So-
same.
Ham and bacon are way healthier than chorizo and
But they don't taste as good, bro.
Yeah, that's
When you go to Doña Chencha and she does huevos con chorizo, bro, con la tortilla de harina así. Oof.
yeah. But the problem is not one taco a week. The problem is one taco a bite for 3 bites a meal for every day for 30 years.
So I can't swing by Stripes and get me 3 tacos de chorizo con
You
frijoles.
can. Maybe it's Saturday. Once it's Saturday, or maybe
You went
it's
on that
Friday.
when you went on that 12-mile hike, you
Yeah.
can get those 4 tacos.
So yeah, it depends
Okay.
on your activity level and everything.
Okay.
Like if you're outside and you're like a roofer or like somebody that needs an extra amount of calories, you don't need 3,000.
Did you say roofer?
Roofer, like roofing person.
Okay.
Um,
Any construction base.
yeah, anybody. But I thought about roofing because it's hard.
Hot.
It's
Okay.
hot.
How's the weather?
That was random. Or like a roofer. Yeah, it can only be the roofers.
No, I'm saying like if you were like a roofer.
Oh, like a roofer.
Yeah,
Okay.
not
Okay.
just
A
a
roofer.
roofer.
Okay, so I guess that makes sense when I was powerlifting that the coach would always say, it's Wednesday, it's big heavy bench day, eat heavy.
Nah, you don't need
That's
to do
another
that.
myth.
Oh, that's all. Dang, all these myths. We're going to be called the myth busters.
It'll make you
Yeah.
it'll make you feel better mentally, but it doesn't mean you're burning more calories. A heavier workout, you're pushing harder, but you may push what 5, 10, 20 calories more. It's not that much.
Yeah.
A walk will
Yeah.
get you
Muscle. What is? I don't know the right term. But I don't know what the right term is. But like in bro science, like if you tear your muscle, doesn't mean that you're gonna burn more calories. So meaning if you go heavier on a workout and you're tearing the muscle more, doesn't mean you burned more calories than somebody that didn't tear their muscle. And that's what he was saying. Like it's heavy set, meaning like you're gonna work out more of your muscles, but
or maybe because you're working out more, you need more more stuff in your body to help you push it heavier.
No.
I mean, so
maybe that's bro science then. Go ahead.
If you're at a calorie surplus, it does help you build
What is
muscle.
surplus?
Like above your calorie maintenance.
Okay.
So if you're not losing body fat at 2,000 calories and you add 200 calories to that, then you're at a surplus.
Okay.
Well, before at 2,000 calories, you're at a maintenance.
Correct.
So if you add 200 calories, it's been known that you can gain muscle. Now, a lot of us in the past have gained a lot more.
More than muscle.
More than you should, yeah.
It's bulking time.
It's leg day. Leg day means hamburger day.
fries.
Yes, that's not.
No.
Like these last 2 weeks, I've been trying to focus more on my leg workouts and like really sit there instead of just like I'm gonna do 3 workouts half-ass and just be like, oh yes, I did some legs better than the guy next to me. Now I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do like 6 quality, 7 quality workouts, and I'm gonna eat a little bit more carbs because that's what when I Google how to grow my legs, it says eat more carbs before your workout. So
that gives you more energy.
Yeah, that gives you more
clean
energy.
carbs.
Yeah, I mean,
clean carbs are just a burger. Just grab a
carbs
burger.
are carbs.
Carbs are carbs.
Yeah.
What about sweet
Yeah.
potatoes compared to fries?
So have a sweet potato an hour before, and then have some candy while you're working out.
Yeah. So the carb is the carb.
Regardless.
Yeah. What you're saying is, what about the sweet potato and the carb plus the saturated fat? That's what you're saying.
Right.
The carb is the carb.
Regardless.
Yeah. The fry is still a carb, but you're adding the oil into it.
And that's what starts.
That's and then people classifies that as like a what do you call it, a dirty carb?
Yeah.
But it's just a carb with fat.
empty carb or whatever.
Yeah.
More calories.
Yeah, it's just more calories, more fat than it is carbs.
This is very complicated. Why can't I'm just gonna go to Taco Bell every day.
And a sweet potato has more calories than a regular potato.
Yeah, a regular potato it has like 90 calories or something like that, super low. That you can
This is too
but
complicated.
you have to like boil it. You can't fry it or.
No, but it's easier to fry it.
Right, it's
a lot
easier
faster.
because it tastes better because of the fat.
I can put it in the microwave, and it's easier to put it in the
Oh
microwave.
yeah, it's easy too. Yeah, you just wrap it up in a wet paper napkin, and a bag.
Paper
and
napkin?
You put it in there
Paper
for 5
napkin?
minutes. That's how I do it. How
Yeah.
you do it?
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
Y'all get that?
Add some salt.
So real quick, our audio. They're saying audio sounds good, which is good. Video looks good.
Audio.
Everything sounds good. We got good feedback here.
Cool.
So that's good.
No, that's it. No
so
comments
Car-
on the
my-
quality content.
Car dealers are out here sweating too and shredding fat. Car detailers.
Detailers. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
Anybody out there?
Anybody
outside
moving.
yeah. That's
moving.
my respect. So since like
No.
8th grade up until like 2 years after high school, I worked construction, and that's too much. That
That's
my
when you
respect
always
for
had
those
a
people.
pen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my respect for people because that's some hard. And especially now, I feel like it's harder now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, when I was 17, 18, I saw my brothers and my dad work outside, and I said, nope, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to school and not doing that.
Correct. So yeah, that's somebody posted in their story the other day. I think he was doing something in his yard. He's like, my respects for everybody. I was like, hey, no, I don't care what business it is, what money it makes. If it's outside, I'm not doing it. It's just this is nice and pretty right here.
Yeah.
Nice and
It's
cool.
artificial light.
We're not outside. I thought we were outside. But yeah, that's good. So pre-workout, real quick. I want to get into that for a quick second. Do you need that? Is it necessary? Is it not? What do you guys feel?
It's necessary for me.
How
I
come?
like it. Sorry. So whether it's I've tried coffee before, which I do coffee even after my pre-workout, but coffee, I've tried salt with water, but pre-workouts always just pump you up,
Gives you that
make
extra.
you feel better.
Do you get the one with that jittery? The one that has the extra.
Usually not.
What's it called?
No.
Beta alanine.
There you go, beta.
The
You know?
butt itching one?
That one's
Itchy
kinda
butthole.
Oh, I haven't tried that one.
It's-
Please send me the recipe for that one.
Make sure you use it when you work out, please, sir.
Why do I have to go to the restroom right after I take pre-workout? Sometimes.
Probably I don't know.
Yeah, I think caffeine itself generates
does
a
that.
bowel movement for people. Yeah.
So my buddy Joey would say that if you had a bad meal the day before and then you wake up and you did your pre-workout, you're gonna run to the restroom. And
That makes
I
sense.
don't want to say I tested the theory, but then once I started eating better, then I would take my pre-workout. I was like, hey, you know what? I didn't have to go run to the restroom. And then like on Friday, Thursdays, we would eat tacos de birria down the road right here. And then Friday, vámonos. You gotta hold on to your life. Gotta pucker up because you know.
Yeah, it's just so much caffeine that it makes me pee a lot, but that's about it. It usually doesn't put me in
Yeah.
the rush. Not the one we take.
I think we've tried a lot of different pre-workouts, and we like to work out in the mornings. That's another topic, but same
what is
topic. Morning, anything between 6 to 8. That's
Okay.
morning. Yeah, anything between 6 to 8. I've tried 5 a.m. workouts. My body doesn't react well.
It says
to those,
no.
You know.
But even if you take pre-workout, wake up and take some
Yeah, I
pre-workout.
mean, I can force myself, but
But-
it's not natural. Like naturally, I fall asleep and then I wake up and then I'm fine. But if I'm forcing myself to wake up at 5 a.m., it's a lot.
Not working. You too.
I'm forced to wake up at 5 a.m. because my dog has to pee at that time.
So you start scratching. Start scratching.
So
Hey,
there's no
come
way
on,
around it.
vámonos. Well, see, I didn't like 5 a.m. either, but I think once I did it for 2-3 weeks, it
Yeah,
became
you
a
have
habit.
to force yourself. Whatever you change your what is it called? Something like your cycle, your sleep cycle, like your whenever you want to fall asleep and whenever you wake up, like you have to basically go through it for a while before you adjust. There's an adjustment period, and I just haven't gotten through that. And I mean, for me, I don't need it.
But you go to sleep late.
Yeah, I go to sleep late, but that's how I like it.
What about this whole?
Because at night, there's nobody awake, so I can work more. And yeah, you can
But-
wake up super early and nobody's awake
I was
either.
gonna say, at 5 a.m. nobody's awake either.
Yeah, but I don't like that.
Yeah. You too, just
You okay?
6 to 8 is better too. 5
Yeah.
a.m. is too much.
Well, I
You
wake
don't
up-
want to wake up your dog
You have to
before he
wake
has
up
to
at
go to the
4
restroom.
if you want to get
4:30.
Yeah,
So the goal is to
4:30.
wake up at 4:30, and then I
Yeah.
kind of push the button, and then it's like 4:45. I'm like, oh snap! And then I'm running around
The Rock, okay.
trying to. But so today,
Yeah.
so I have one of my alarms is "Elevate" the song by Drake. So it went off today, and